Hi everyone, this is Heather Smith with Storyville Photography, and today I'm going to show you how to achieve this edit. This is the before, and this is the after. Before and after. And the first thing I'm going to do is open it up into Lightroom. Now that I'm in Lightroom, I am going to go over to my presets, and I'm going to select the Spring Green preset number 8, and I'm going to come over to the temp slider, and I'm going to slide it to the right just to warm it up a little bit. And then I want to take the luminosity out of her skin a little, so I'm going to go down to the Hue and Saturation Luminance slider and just decrease the orange in the luminance. And I also want to go to the saturation and decrease the orange a little bit as well. And so that about does it for Lightroom. This is the before and after with the Spring Green preset. And now we're going to hop back into Photoshop. Okay, now that we're in Photoshop, I am going to make a copy of the background layer by hitting Command J. And then I'm going to go up to my filters and I'm going to go to the Camera Raw filter. And then I'm going to come over to my presets and I am going to add another preset to this image. So we first used the Spring Green and now I'm going to choose the Simplicity 2. And as you can see, her skin really took on some orange hues there, but we are going to correct that, don't worry. Hit OK, and this is the before and the after with the Simplicity. I like how it has a little more contrast to the image, and it just kind of really makes her pop more. So to take care of the orange, I'm going to go back into the Camera Raw filter. And the reason why I didn't do this before, because you could also do it in addition to the preset, you can make changes, is I want to keep the orange in the background and a little bit on the bench. And if I do what I'm about to do now, it is going to kind of take that away from the whole image, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go to the saturation in the orange, and I'm going to just turn that down. And as you can see, the orange tone has already well, not completely gone because I like a little orange glow, but her Oompa Loompa look is gone now. So I'm going to hit OK on that. And that is the before and after with the Simplicity and then having adjusted the orange tones in her skin. And now I want to come over to the retouch action and hit the brighten skin and eyes and hit play. And I'm just going to brighten up her face a little bit and maybe little parts of her arms. So I'm going to hit the brighten skin. I'm going to make sure I have the white brush selected at 100% opacity. And it's going to come on strong, but we are going to dial it back after. And I'm just going to kind of brush that over her face and her neck there. And yeah, definitely not leaving that on 100% opacity because that looked a little scary. There we go. A little bit on her arms. And brightening that up kind of brought a little bit more orange to her skin. Well, not really brought it, just kind of enhanced it a little bit. So I'm going to come over here to the skin color correction and hit play. And to reduce the orange, another way, which I really love to do, is go into the reduce red and just kind of rub it on where you want. The skin's going to kind of turn like this grayish color, but then you can really target where you want the orange to, decrease. So that looks good to me, before and after. Very subtle, but it makes a huge difference. And now I want to come over and run the Ultimate Dodge and Burn. Hit play. Open that up. Make sure you open this up, guys. I'm constantly getting messages that the Dodge and Burn doesn't work, but you guys aren't opening it up completely like it shows in the Dodge and Burn tutorial. So make sure you click on this and then click on the individual groupings. I grouped them to keep them organized for y'all, and it just, makes life easier. So what I want to do for here is I want to go to the Dodge and Burn clothing, and I'm going to do the extra burn. Make sure that you have a soft white brush at 100% opacity. And this area is blown out a little. Even in the straight out of camera, I noticed when I was looking through, I was like, ooh, some of these highlights are wonky, but there's really nothing I can do at that point. It's already done. So that looks good to me. And then I want to go to the dodge and burn combo, and I want to run that over her headband. And that looks good to me. So that's the before and after. And remember, guys, you can play with the sliders. That's already at 100% opacity, but if you wanted to, you know, increase the darkness, you can just duplicate the layer. You can do that for any of them. And now I'm going to come over to the dodge one, and I'm just going to run it through her hair a little. And that looks good. And then for the environment, I'm going to do the dodge and burn combo, and then I'm going to do the extra burn on the bench. So I'm going to just run it through here. And as you can see, it blew out some areas a little bit, but we're going to turn it down. Okay. I like to start at 0 and then just kind of increase my way to where my eye likes it. And now I want to burn the exact same areas that I did the dodge and burn to increase the burn. Wow, that's a lot of burns, huh, guys? So I'm going to hold down the Option, and I'm going to drag the mask. So the mask is already done for you. And that looks good. That's the before and after. Before and after. And now I'm going to select the extra dodge, and I'm going to run it over some of these darker areas in the background. A little down there. And then I want to increase it even more. So I'm going to just hit the Command J, and voila, the background is to my liking, except it's blown out a little bit down there. So I'm going to switch this to a black brush and just mask it off the bottom here. Okay, and that is the before and after, and then we'll do it all together. Before and after. And now for the finishing touch, I want to run the Painterly. In order to do that, I have to flatten all of my layers. So you guys, if you want to run this action, make sure you're working with just the background layer. So I'm going to go up to the top and select layers, flatten image, and then I'm going to come over here and find the Painterly action. I should know exactly where everything is, but I still have to search sometimes. And then hit the play. And then as you can see, it took on like this dreamy look that I just love, but I don't want to keep it on everything. I'm going to select the mask on the Painterly base, make sure that I have a soft black brush at 100% opacity, and I'm going to mask it off of her face and her ear. Now, you could leave it on headbands or whatever you want, even if there's patterns. It does take on kind of a cool look, but for this case, I want to take it off. But I do want to leave it on her hair, so I'm just going to take it off the headband, make sure it's not on her fingers, her necklace, the edge of her clothes. I want those details to still be there. And then I make sure you always check the hands and feet, guys, because their fingers can look really weird if you leave this on, just so you know. And then I'm going to take a little bit off of her shoes there, let the sparkle shine here too. So this is the before and the after. I'm going to leave it on the bench in the background, and it kind of makes the grass look pretty cool. Zone in, and that's a before and after. Pretty fun, huh, guys? And the last thing I want to do, I'm going to leave the brighten up off and the contrast off because I already got that to my liking. But I am going to turn the color dazzle on to make certain areas pop a little bit more. It's going to come on strong, but we will dial it back. So I like to start at the 0 and kind of work my way up to where my eye likes it. And I like it on like these orangey parts and the bench. I do need to take it off of this green down here and on her skin a little bit. So soft black brush, 100% opacity, make sure that I'm clicked on the layer mask, and I'm just going to kind of take it off these areas. Okay, and that about does it. So we are done, guys. This is where we got started, and this is where we are finished, our complete image. And isn't she the cutest hippie ever? I am a little biased because I'm her mama, but I just can't even handle it. Anyway, you can find everything that I used here at www.storyvillephotography.com. Thanks. Have a great night, guys. Bye.